today I spent a good portion of my day messaging people, inviting them to challenge groups. And I've had a lot of no's, but I haven't let it get me discouraged yet. But I know it's Christmas, right? And if there's any people in the same situation we're in financially, it's going to be tough. So, but that's okay. I've sold another challenge pack. I'm trying to hit SC this month, and it's not proving to be very easy. So,
especially now, like it's very close to Christmas. Don't quit, because after Christmas is over, after like maybe the 22nd, or 27th rather, from like the 28th to the end of the month, talk challenge group, because at that point, everybody's like, I don't fit into my jeans, and maybe I'm going to make a New Year's resolution after all. So don't quit. Never say die. Never, ever, ever, ever give up. Like, until it is midnight Eastern Standard Time, right? I mean, obviously you're going to, like, I would say the 24th, 25th, 26th, there is no point messaging anybody during those days. There's just not.
Yeah.
Like, keep posting on your social media, Christmassy stuff or whatever, but there's really no point in messaging anybody on those days, but never say die till the month ends. Okay. So we're going into getting to Emerald, what that is and how to talk to people and how to invite. I'm going to distill it really quick. We've got the scripts. We've got what to say and how to invite and what, like how to position it for people. I did find that stuff super helpful when I started. I felt extremely weird about inviting anybody to join my team. I felt so crazy weird about it. I'm always super honest with my team, guys. I didn't like it. And I actually didn't realize that I had to do that as a coach when I signed up. I didn't know that because I didn't do my research. I was just like, my friend was super successful. I can do this. Like, let's jump in with before like knowing anything about this, right? When I found that out, it was so nerve-wracking for me. I know that my former professional community, they had a lot of negativity to spew at me about what I was doing. So that made it even harder to like post on social media and all of that kind of stuff. Now, like, I'll shout it from the rooftops. I don't know why everyone doesn't do this. Like, I have built this crazy successful business with 3 years of crazy hard work and willingness to get uncomfortable. But at the beginning, before you have that success, it's hard to feel that same conviction, right? Or at least it was for me. But I'm going to distill it down and make it really simple for you guys in terms of people joining your team. Find what you love about coaching. Think about what is the thing that you would love about coaching. Think about this. What if tomorrow Carl Deichler was like, okay, guys, it's a wrap. This has been fun, but we're done with the Coach Network side of the business. Would you feel sad to not have the Fit Republic in your life anymore? Would you feel sad to not have the community? Would you feel sad to not have this like platform to inspire people to live in a more healthy way? Like, whatever it is that you would feel like you're missing in your life, if it like all of a sudden went away tomorrow, hold on to that thing when you're talking to people. And it's going to be different for different people. Some people are like, I want to be a mini celebrity. I want to post on social media and I want people to like and comment on all my stuff, right? And some people love the community. They love making friends on the team. They love that they're part of something bigger than themselves and feel like we're working toward a common purpose. There are other people who like live for their challenge groups and just helping that one person, 2 people, 3 people get healthier. Whatever it is that you feel like you would really miss, like, have that in your head right now. Talk to people about that. Talk to people about that thing that you love. Talk to everyone like they're your friend. This isn't about trying to convince anybody to do anything. We're not in the business of trying to convert people to our way of thinking. We're in the business of finding those people who do think the way that we do, who could really benefit from what we do, and who we can invite to come alongside us as we're doing it. This far in the business, I'm not inviting people to be my underlings. I'm inviting people to come alongside me and do what I do with me, right? So at the end of the day, there are the scripts. Here's the way that you can invite people. Here's what you can say. There is that, and that's helpful. But at the end of the day, when you're having that conversation with that one individual, you're just having a conversation with that one individual. Okay? Talk to everybody like you would talk to a friend. This is what I love about being a part of this team. This is what I love about coaching. I'm starting to earn a little bit of money on the side, but I'm just getting started. I know that it's going to grow, and I would just love to have you on my team. I think you would be great because of this. Do you want to talk about it? Right? That's a great opener. And if they say, yeah, sure, like send me some details, that's usually what people say. Like people will usually reply back with either no thank you, which is fine. Just let it go, right? Wishing you all the best, totally fine. Or send me some details, or does it cost any money, right? People ask you whatever their priorities are. If they, regardless of what they ask you next, whether it's send me some details or how much does it cost or whatever, I always assure them, I will give you all the details in my next message. I will break it all down for you. But first, I would really love to ask you a couple questions, like, and then ask about them and what interests them about possibly joining the team. Like if you did decide joining the team was, or becoming a coach or however you want to word it, if you did decide that this might be a good fit for you, I'd love to hear like what interests you about it, right? Because then you can understand what language they speak. Do they want to be like a Facebook celebrity? Do they want to earn some money? There's no wrong answer to this. Do they want to be a part of a community? Do they want to just help a few people get fit? Like whatever they're interested in, you can talk more specifically about that. And then get into all the details. Okay? Okay. So I'm going to just do a quick run through with the scripts, keeping in mind though that these are to give you an idea. These are like a little guideline for you. Mostly so that you remember not to show up and throw up, right? Show up and throw up is when you start talking to somebody and you just like vomit Beachbody information all over them. We can't do that. It's so overwhelming for people. Like if in your first message, you just like spew all about coaching and all about Beachbody, they're like, whoa, I never even said I was interested. And they get their back up a little bit. Right? So these scripts and stuff are just a way to remind you that the conversation should be more about them than it is about you. The more you can ask questions, the better, right? Because it is all about them. You want to help them decide if it's a good idea for them, not whether or not it's a good idea for you, right? So make it all about them. That's kind of what the scripts are for, but it's not a hard and fast like say this, then say this, then say this. That's not what we're saying here, okay? Okay. Ashley, you feel like you haven't been a coach for long enough. Ooh, okay. You're getting your first paycheck next week. That means you've been a coach for long enough. Let me, I'll break it down for you a little bit more. Like how much have you made on this paycheck? $50. Okay. So you sold like a challenge pack, right? Yeah. Okay. So you have sold a challenge pack. You've earned $50. So you're just getting started, right? So you're like in the new coach training. You've been in there for like 2.5 weeks and you've earned $50 already, right? In January, you'll probably earn $150. There are pretty much everyone I can think of could benefit from an extra $150 in a month. Really. If it's just an extra pair of Lulus or, if you want to go shopping and not feel guilty about it or get your hair done or pay a utility bill. I had a coach who was like crying buckets of tears when she could fill up her gas tank all the way instead of just putting $10 in. Like, I'm going to cry because their finances were in such a state that She could never do that. She was putting $10 in her gas tank all the time. She made $50 with Beachbody, and that's what it went towards, a full tank of gas. And she was like, just the peace of mind knowing that I can get everywhere that I need to go and I don't even have to worry about it, right? So the level of income that you're making is meaningful. You have to understand that it is meaningful. Plus, you're not telling people, hey, I have all the answers. You're not telling people that. You're asking them, hey, do you want to come with me? Like, I'm just starting out myself. I love it because of this or that or the other thing. And I would love for you to come with me and learn together. From ground level, let's do this together. That's what I said to my sister. My sister, they were struggling financially when I started as a coach. I called her. I'm like, hey, I'm going to do this coaching thing. It's coming to Canada. I'm super excited. Like, I know that it has real, legit potential, you know? And so I said, I need you to come with me. You have to come with me. You'd be perfect for this. And she's like, I can't afford a challenge pack. Like, I do not have the room on my credit card for a challenge pack. I was like, oh, like, that sucks. She's like, I want to, but I can't. So, because she's my sister, I called her back. I'm like, sell something. Like you need to get in on this. And she did. She sold her elliptical and she got started with her challenge pack. And it made an enormous difference in her family's finances. So don't discount your progress because you're just starting, right? Do you know what? I invited, like, within probably the first year of my business, I invited everybody that I knew, hairdresser, accountant, you freaking name it. I invited them because I knew where I was going, and I didn't ever want them to come back to me and say, like, why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you invite me to come along with you? And now I'm having a whole bunch of people like, I wish I would have joined you 3 years ago when you talked to me about it at first. And they are joining me now, right? So planting that seed, regardless of whether or not they join you, is always a good idea. Okay, so we're going to go over the material a little bit here. Okay, so I don't know if you guys saw this, but this is important. Ali posted a few invites, like a few sample invites, like how diamond coaches are inviting people to join their teams. So some of it is inviting previous challengers to join the team. Some is like people that they just know from everyday life. This was an invite to a challenger. And she's so, like, I love how, like, real life she is. She's like, you're killing it all on your own. That's awesome. And you're getting others interested too, which is exactly what coaching is. So tell me why you aren't a coach. LOL, right? That's so her personality. She's just talking like she talks in real life. That's just how she is, you know? Yes, honey? Yeah, you can have a banana. Sure. Okay. This is one from Lizzie. She says, when you get home from your vacay, we should seriously talk about you joining my team and becoming a Beachbody coach. I think you'd be great at inspiring others along their fitness journey. Hope you're having a blast. Very jealous of your sunny pics. So it's just, again, like, this is how she talks in real life. That's Lizzie. Okay, this is one from Karina, and it's quite long. It's probably a little longer than I would do, but that's her personality, right? So she's talking about life stuff before she talks about coaching stuff, right? She's just talking about the baby. Yeah, she's talking about the baby. You've probably seen my posts, blah, blah, blah. And then she goes into the idea of working from home as a mama. Right? Okay, so we have the invite examples, and then we have a script for going through the conversations. But I'm going to first open it up for questions. If anybody wants to talk about, like, just that initial invite and talking to people about, like just sending that initial invite. And I should have said this at first, like at the beginning. Getting to Emerald is what starts you earning team volume bonus. That's a big deal. Team volume bonus starts out tiny. It starts out really, really small. But the first time that I earned $14 in team volume bonus, I cranked the music and I had a freaking dance party at my house, because that was $14 that didn't come from me selling a challenge pack that week, right? It begins really tiny, but guys, this is 95% of my income. Sometimes more than 95% of my income, and it always starts small. Also, I'm going to say one more thing. You're building credibility right now. People don't know whether or not you're just going to be a flash in the pan, because truthfully, most people don't stick with it. In terms of a fitness journey or in terms of an at-home business, most people don't stick with it. And that is just the way that it is. That's not going to be you, but they don't know that, right? So right now, you're building credibility. For me, my job is easier than your job right now, and I know that. But it's because they've seen me. I was here last year. I was here the year before. I was here the year before that when I did a crap job of posting on social media. I posted like challenge group posters, and I was like, or challenge pack posters, and I was like, buy this, right? We don't do that. I just didn't know it at the time. So in any case, you're building credibility, and that's cool. That's fine. That's the work of your first year, is building credibility as a coach. You should be inviting people, because a lot of these people are going to join you next year and the following year and the following year. It snowballs after that first year. Okay. I'm just checking the chat. Yeah, Cindy, totally. Like people liking pictures and posts and stuff like that. That was a huge frustration when I started. Lots of 0 like posts, lots of like 1 like posts. But Cindy, like you're so adorable. And we were talking about you in the Diamond group the other day, because your posts are fabulous. I love your posts. They're great. So you're doing it right. You need to understand that you're doing a great job, and that it is going, like momentum is going to build. Okay? You're doing a great job. Also, this time of year, guys, you started coaching at exactly the right time of year. It's hard right now, and it's going to be easier in January, February, March, but you have the benefit of this experience. You have the benefit of lots of people saying no to you and barely anybody liking your posts. It is a benefit, promise. Okay? Jeff, the people you may know feature. Yes, I totally used that when I started as a coach. I forgot. Thank you. Facebook has this people you may know feature where you have mutual friends with these people, and they're probably even people that you've met in your life, but you're just not friends on Facebook yet. There's a lot of that, right? So the people you may know feature is fabulous. Ashley, that's where it starts. I got my sale from that. Oh, awesome. When do I send the invite to the challenger? I have one challenger and it starts January 4th. Should I talk to her before the challenge group ends? I would actually wait to talk to her until she's in your challenge, until she's gotten some results. Here's the deal. If you get some results in your own fitness journey and you talk about it, that's what attracts people to join a fitness journey. Like if you're doing some kind of weird diet, even I did the cabbage soup diet once. I don't know if I told you guys that. When I was like 18, it was like the dumbest diet ever. But I was so excited about it that a whole bunch of my friends joined me and did it too, even though it was stupid. But I was so excited and I had lost a couple of pounds. So they're like, yeah, let's do it, right? So people who get results talk to their friends about what they're doing. Like before you become a coach, if you lose 10 pounds, your friends are going to want to know, like, how did you do that, right? So your challenger, when she starts to get some results, that's when I would talk to her about it. In fact, we have a coach sneak peek. It's like a little happy hour event that happens the 3rd week in January. So if your challenge group starts on January 4th, that is perfect timing. she'll have like 3 weeks, almost 3 weeks on plan. She'll be almost done her 21-day fix if that's what she's doing. She'll have some results to show for it. She'll come and see like what the culture of the team is like. That's great timing. And by the way, except for December, because it's right at Christmas, the third week of every month, we have some sort of coach recruiting sort of resource for you guys that you can invite people to. Okay, so look out for that in the Fit Republic group. We'll have that January through November till the end of time, the third week of the month. What other questions do you guys have about inviting? Also, my mom was the first person I invited to become a coach. I knew, like, she can't log into a computer. She does not know how to log into a computer. So I knew that she was never going to actively coach, but I also knew she could really benefit from Shakeology, and I also wanted her to have the discount. I knew that she would be a long-term coach for me, and she's been a coach for 3 years. She's lost 20 pounds. She can't eat fruits and vegetables or very little, because she has a disease of the colon. And so Shakeology has changed her life. She didn't know that before she started on it. She only did it strictly just to help me. But that's something to think about too. I signed up my husband with the challenge pack, and he had no choice because he was drinking my Shakeology and I wasn't having that. So
That's my question.
Yeah, ask the question.
I have been thinking about signing my husband up. I wasn't sure how to go about doing it. Do I sign him up with a challenge pack in order to sign him up as a coach? Because I have one coach, I need another one to make it to Emerald.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I've been kind of debating, do I sign my husband up or do I just keep looking for my next coach?
My best advice to you is to wait until you have that other coach.
I do have one already.
Oh, you have one active?
Yeah.
Oh, how did I miss that? Or maybe I just
don't know.
forgot. That's me. See, I forget stuff.
That's okay.
Okay, so then you could totally sign your husband. You could totally sign your husband up. And here's the deal, guys. For your own CBC, Coach Business Center, CBC, I say that all the time. So if you see me post that in Fit Republic, you'll know what it means. For your own CBC, you should be on some kind of nutritional supplement on Home Direct, because you need that in order to technically hit Success Club, in order to get the reward for whatever it is that month for Success Club. However, if you have a mom or a spouse or something like that signed up, you don't have to have them on HD on anything. If you place one customer order under your mom, spouse, sister, whatever, CBC, they will be active. They'll have enough volume to be active. So, Lena, you don't need to spend the money on 2 HDs per month. If you hit Success Club first and then put one challenge pack under hubby, then he will be active.
Okay, so I don't actually have to sign him up with a challenge pack, just a customer with a challenge pack, right?
Okay, here's the deal. I would, because of the value for money, probably sign him up with a challenge pack. And I probably shouldn't even be saying this, but I'm always like real to a fault with you guys. If you were to do, like, I know you want hammer and chisel, right? Mm-hmm. If you were to do hammer and chisel challenge pack, it's on sale this month. You get the Shakeology, you sell it for $110 on a buy and sell. And that, like, it happens like that. You can sell it so fast. On a buy and sell, you get $110 back. You get a $50 commission. Yes, you get a $50 commission. So say you sell it for $100, whatever, just to keep the numbers easy for myself. You get $150, and then you end up paying, like, I don't know, $26 plus shipping, so like $30 or something like that for the hammer and chisel program. Does that make sense?
I have no idea what you just said.
You sign him up with a challenge pack, right? Yes. You get the Shakeology. You can sell it on a local buy and sell website, where do you live, Elmer?
Yeah.
Like Elmer Buy and Sell on Facebook or Kijiji or whatever. You'll sell it in a day at $100 because that's really super cheap. You'll get a $50 commission from that challenge pack in your CBC, right?
Okay.
So you get $150 back out of that.
Okay.
It's just a creative way to get the Hammer and Chisel program. Plus, there's the $43 Canadian or $39 American coach sign-up fee, right?
Yeah.
If you don't buy a challenge pack. So basically, you're paying the same amount, but you get Hammer and Chisel if you do it that way. And then henceforth, as you're building to Diamond, right, as you're thinking about Diamond and going there, you can have your hubby active with just a challenge pack order every month instead of having him on HD. Unless he starts stealing your Shakeology, and then you lay the law down. Okay, any other question? Does that make sense, Lena?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I get it now. Yeah. I had never heard of that before. That's foreign to me, but
I know, and it's kind of a workaround, and like I said, I might not even should have said that, but whatever.
because I was actually going to order the Hammer and Chisel today because I got a paycheck from Beachbody today.
Okay.
So I was going to order the Hammer and Chisel for me. So that's why I was wondering, how would I do that if I kind of wanted to sign hubby up to get me to Emerald?
Then I would wait for another paycheck from Beachbody and save it up until you can do the challenge pack, sell the Shakeology, and you make more money.
Okay.
That's my recommendation. You do what you want. Cindy, that's a great question. Do I invite people to a challenge group although I already know they won't accept it? I just need to post more, question mark. So you never know. You just never know who's going to be into a challenge group. You seriously cannot prejudge. My best advice, never say no for anybody. I wasted so much time at the beginning not inviting people because I said no in my head for them. Like, I'd scroll by them on my friends list. I'm like, they will never join a challenge group, right? And then I had somebody join a challenge group who's a close friend of mine with somebody else because I had never invited them. And I'm like, crap, I thought you would never join though. So yes, invite them. All they can say is no, and then it's totally it's fine. There's no pressure, right? Totally do it. In terms of posting, I recommend 2 to 3 posts a day for sure. Also, how personal should you get with your posts? People like personal, I put it like this. We walk around and, you go to church, you go to your kid's school, you go wherever you're going, and you put on the happy face, right? And people ask how you're doing. Oh, great. Everybody's always doing great and they look so shiny and happy, right? People are generally very unwilling to admit their vulnerabilities. They're usually very unwilling to put their vulnerabilities out there. So I asked a question of my personally sponsored coaches. I said, what made you join my team? At what point did you trust me enough to join my team? And almost everybody replied, I trusted you. You're just so real. You're just so genuine. I trusted you, right? Some of you guys replied to that thread. And so be real, be genuine, be vulnerable. I say as a coach, Facebook is not a place to air your dirty laundry. Facebook is not a place to get on and be like, I have all these problems. I hate people. People suck. No. But do talk about your vulnerabilities. Do talk about things that you struggle with, especially if you found a solution to said problem. Talk about it. I talked about my separation with Chris last year. I didn't do it immediately when it happened, but I talked about it when we were still in the middle of it. When we decided that we were going to make it work, I talked about how hard it was, and I still talk about it sometimes. I talk about my struggle with hypothyroid. The one day I was having a pity party. Like I had a massive pity party then I went for a drive and I'm like, I have hypothyroid. It's not fair. It's not fair that I have to struggle with this. And I just had like a personal pity party and then realized like I could have like, my brother has a brain tumor, really, and I'm sitting here crying because I can't lose weight fast enough. Seriously, So I posted about that and I talked about that. One of my girls, Michelle, I told her this as soon as she started. I said, be real with people, be genuine with people, tell people like warts and all, be out there with your people. And so she posted a video about her former struggle with bulimia. That's an intensely personal thing to share. That is tough to share with people, but it made her relatable. It made her somebody that people were like, wow, like you get it. You understand. You're not just, fitness lady who never struggles, right? Be real. Okay. Oh, the angels on my Christmas tree. Yes. So I've had 5 miscarriages. As we were having our babies, and I posted about the little angels on our Christmas tree that we have to remember the babies that we believe are in heaven. So, I talk about stuff like that, real life stuff. It doesn't all have to be fitness, and it shouldn't all be fitness. People should see you and who you are, right? I'm glad we're talking about this, guys, because sharing on social media should be in the vital behaviors. Like it should be number 4 in the vital behaviors. There should be 4 of them because people seeing you and you being transparent makes a huge difference in your credibility as you go, right? Any other questions you guys have? Sherry's here. Hey, girl. So Sherry, we were talking, just to recap, we were talking about inviting people to join your team, how to have that conversation. You can watch the playback, like the beginning of it. I talk a lot more about having that conversation and just being real and having a real conversation, not like a robot cutting and pasting a script, right? Some great questions on who to invite and stuff like that. So what other questions do you guys have? Like, I think you should set a goal. I'm going to be Emerald by this date. I'm going to be Emerald by January 31st. Like, no questions asked. I'm going to be Emerald. I think you should set a date. And I think it should be January 31st. I really do. Or sooner. It's not that hard. It's only 2 people. If you're actually inviting, it's not that hard. It's only 2 people. Jill, what do you say to someone who is considering being a coach, but they are concerned about having a consistent income? So, I would definitely ask more questions before you say anything, because you're telling me that and I'm like, not really sure of the context there. You probably know more about the context than I do. But I would definitely ask more questions about that. Like, what exactly are you looking for? Why does that matter? Obviously, you're not going to say it like that, but why does that matter kind of thing? And again, when people ask me questions, I don't sugarcoat. I do not sugarcoat. You get out of this thing what you put into this thing. You get to join a new coach training with an elite team, right? Because they go through our new coach training too. You go through this new coach training with an elite team. There are ongoing trainings all the time. And if you put the work in, you definitely can build a consistent income. But at first, it's not consistent. Right? So I'm going to tell you guys something. I had this person messaging me about a challenge group. She's messaged me for like 6 months. And then she's like, okay, I'm ready to join this challenge group. I'm going to buy the Hammer and Chisel challenge pack. I'm going to do this. And she's like, but I need to know, what did she say? She's like, I need to know that you're really going to hold me accountable. I need to know that you're going to do your job as a coach. And I was like, girl, I said, we've talked about this. Here's what I offer. I'm in my challenge groups once a day. I promise you, you're not going to go more than 24 hours without having a question answered. I'm in once a day. If you message me, I promise that I will be in my messages once a day. I said I don't usually answer any messages on Sunday, so you won't even hear from me on Sunday. But I said, that's what you can expect from me. If that's what you're looking for, awesome. If you don't feel like that's enough for you, then maybe you're looking for someone else. You know, I do not overpromise. So I'm very real with people. If they ask me about something like consistent income, that's up to you. Here's what I did, right? Ashley can be like, I made $50, right? In my first 2 weeks, I made $50 and I'm super excited. Ooh, one more really good point. If you're not excited, ain't nobody going to be excited, right? If you're like, well, maybe you should join my team because maybe it might be a good idea, you know, then they're going to be like, that doesn't seem legit. No, thank you. But if you talk about what you love about coaching, that comes through. Even when you're typing a message, that comes through. If you talk about what you love, they're going to feel it. Also, don't be afraid of the voice message feature. It's my favorite. Like when you can record the little voice memo in the Facebook messages on your phone, it's the best because they can like feel your excitement and enthusiasm and genuineness. Okay, I have been wondering forever. Genuineness is not a word, but what is the word that one would use? Genuineness. I know it's not a word. What is the word?
Authenticity?
Yes, authenticity. That's the word. People are looking for that from you, right? And you don't have to be making 6 figures to have that. You can be excited about $50. I was excited about $50 when I started. I'm going to show you guys that feature real quick. Okay. Hold on. Okay. Down here, there's a little microphone button. If you push the microphone button, then you get this red button at the bottom. And you can just hit record. And you can do 1 minute at a time a voice message. And it's my favorite. It's the best. Because then you're not just following a script. You're talking to somebody, right? You're giving it to them in your own words, which is exactly what you should be doing. So use that when you're talking to challengers and when you're talking to prospective coaches. Use that. Okay. So I would love for you guys to post what your date is, your hard and fast date. Like I'm going to be Emerald by this day, right? People do it differently. Some people sign up their husband. Some people sign up their mama. Some people talk to their best friend. Some people talk to their challengers, right? And you will eventually be talking to a lot of your challengers and people that you meet on social media. It's just at the very beginning, getting to Emerald, you're talking to more people who are like closer in your circle, right? And again, that starts off your team volume bonus, which is now 95% of my income. I'm going to do a little exercise with you guys. Sherry, I think you're familiar. Maybe you, Cindy, too. Okay, so close your eyes for a second. No, but for real, close your eyes. Lena, you were there. Close your eyes, Cindy. Like for real. Okay, imagine you're walking up to like a 5-foot tall wall. Okay? Now try really hard to push it over. Like try hard to push it over. Okay? Now open your eyes. If you're like most people, you did not push the wall over, but you exerted a lot of energy, right? Trying to push the wall over. Close your eyes one more time. Close them. Okay. You're walking up to the same 5-foot tall brick wall. Okay. Push the damn thing over. Okay. Open your eyes. You exert the same amount of mental energy trying really hard to do something as you do actually doing it. It's like if you're a person who struggles with nighttime cravings for junk food and you leave just this like little like, you go get it and I'll open it for you. It's just like you leave this like little 1% wiggle room. It's only 1% wiggle room. You're like 99% certain that you're not going to eat like a bag of Oreos at night, right? But you start to negotiate with that little 1% and you're fighting with yourself. And there is this like inner turmoil, right? And you're exerting a ton of mental energy and effort trying to not eat the Oreos. And half the time you eat the Oreos, right? Whereas, yeah, I know, I get it because I'm human too. But if it's like non-negotiable, you are going to be in a bathing suit in a week, right? You have enough motivation. It's something external. You're going to be in a bikini in a week, and there is just no freaking way that you're eating a bag of Oreos tonight, right? It's easier when it's 100% non-negotiable than it is when you leave that little bit of wiggle room with yourself, okay? And I'm not going to tell you exactly how you're going to hit Emerald because it's probably going to be different for you than it was for me, than it is for somebody else. You take lessons from what everybody else does, but you take ownership of your business now. And you ask yourself, how can I hit Emerald? Like, how can I do this? Who could I connect with? Who would be a good coach? Who would be a long-term Shakeology customer like Mama that could benefit from the discount? My mother-in-law, by the way, did exactly the same thing. She thought Shakeology was kind of silly. She's lost 50 pounds now, though. Right? It was a win-win, but she did it like strictly just to support my business at first. I knew she'd benefit, right? But she didn't at the time. So you ask yourself how you can hit Emerald and make it a non-negotiable by X date. I'm not going to tell you the date that it should be. You figure out what date it should be for yourself. Okay? Any questions, guys?
I was gonna type, but realized that's just too much work. So
Perfect.
So my question is, when you're inviting people to become a coach, and they're pretty stoked, and you want to invite them to one of those coach info hours, is that like a small team thing that happens? Like I have to talk to Ash about that type of deal when that's going to go on, I mean?
We're not doing it this month because of Christmas, but the third week of every month, we have some kind of resource for you.
Okay.
We like to do a 1 hour event, start to finish. It's 1 hour. That's what we like to do. And we always, we're going to record it in January. It's going to be a live Zoom call sort of thing. So we'll record it so you can send it to people who can't make it. However, if you want to invite people to join the team now and they're excited now, don't hold off until 4 weeks from now, right? Have the conversation, watch the beginning of this call on how to start the conversation, like authentic sort of conversation. And I have this YouTube video. It's like 30 minutes or something, 29 minutes. I really tried to keep it short, but I'm a talker. And it explains a lot about coaching. It explains it's sort of like a start to finish sort of thing. So if someone's excited, start the conversation. And if they really want to know everything about it, then you can send them this.
Oh, good. I think I did send her that. If it's what I'm thinking, it was like a coach and you have like number 1, 2, 3. Is that the right one? Or?
No, but that's great too.
Okay.
If you guys go to my YouTube channel, I'm going to share my screen with you in a sec. If you guys follow my YouTube channel, there are some resources on there that you can share, and I'll just show you real quick. There's a playlist called Fit Republic Open House, and I made this playlist over this summer. So one video is, what does a coach do? The other video, day 3, I should really rename that like ASAP. Day 3 is how we connect with people on social media. And then the other one is show me the money, how we make money as coaches. Okay. So that's something that you can send. And then there's also a webinar that I did that's like 30 minutes and it's exactly the same amount of time as these 3 videos put together, actually even a little shorter. But it's like a start to finish sort of thing. These videos I sort of use more as a piecemeal thing in a conversation. If they have a question about how we connect with people, right? How we grow our business, then I'll send video 2, right? If they want to know how we earn money, then I'll send the show me the money kind of thing. And then the other one is like the whole shebang sort of deal. But yeah, Sherry, strike while the iron's hot. Always. Any other questions, guys?
Hi, ladies.
Oh, sorry. I accidentally. Oh my gosh, that's like such an old video. I sounded like Minnie Mouse in my first videos because I was so nervous about making videos. And like, I hated seeing my face on the camera, and I was so weirded out the entire time that my voice just went like an octave higher, and I just couldn't even control it. All right. I don't see anything in the chat. Does anybody else have any other questions?